So I'll say in my many conversations, anytime I advance that, Nigerian men are very defensive. They're like, men everywhere cheat, which is true. But what Nigerian men do is something special. Like the level to which Nigerian men take it, they're in a class all of their own.
This is my question. How did you get heartbroken? And tell me the story from the beginning. That's for my question. How did you get heartbroken? Tell me the story from the beginning.
Okay, I met a guy here who I knew in Atlanta, and so he was familiar in a place where everything was like new. So we reconnected here because he saw that I was in Lagos, and was like, "You're here." So he really helped me like kind of get settled, and I felt like he was extremely charming, which is something that I think is, I'll give that to Nigerian men, very charming men. I feel like the relationship felt incredible for like 3 months. Things changed when he asked to borrow money. And I think that for me, like, it just didn't sound like a wise thing to do. And I'm not someone who prioritizes love. Like, I'm a very logical person, always getting into my bag. So mixing money with relationships isn't something that I'm inclined to do. So when I denied or declined, it wasn't a diss to the progress in the relationship, but it was more or less me trying to keep out things that could cause issue, and it seemingly caused issue all on its own. And I have spoken with him, and he says that it wasn't money that was our demise. Do you want to hear his demise?
It was trust.
No. So he told me that he desired to adopt a relative, like, and he didn't like my immediate reaction, like not having given me a chance to think or hear about it. Like, he said that I wasn't supportive, and clearly I wasn't supportive in the money situation either. Like, he also mentioned, like, if you have a girlfriend and she can help, you should help. Do you think I was wrong?
No, I feel like it comes from a place of entitlement, first of all. So I have that, like, that was all like, okay. So maybe that it comes from a place of entitlement, but did you guys have a conversation about it?
About money
Like,
or
did you
adoption?
have a conversation about what, like, the details of why was that the problem?
Yes, I think I attempted to, but I don't think that communication and men here, like, I don't think that they're taught to communicate effectively.
I agree.
So just being upset, or even like the idea that you felt any type of way by what I did, and we couldn't have a conversation instantly before you walked off, and like the anger grew, like whatever you believed to be true about me and what I was thinking, like I could have settled it there, but because you didn't communicate effectively, whatever you thought festered, and I went on about my day.
And that was how it ended.
Well, it didn't end there. It continued on, but when we delved back,
already.
yes, that was, they
So
say
was
that
not
was the
evident.
first crack.
Yeah. So how did you end up heartbroken?
Because I was really invested in the relationship. Like, I really think that for me, like coming to Nigeria, like I was just kind of like throwing myself into every experience here, Like, I clearly have a life back in America, and it wasn't a bad life. And so when I'm like, whatever guys are in America, like I'm moving forward. So when that experience kind of presented itself, like it was very easy to get comfortable. So I think I was invested.
Has that experience changed the way you approach relationships now?
Only in Nigeria.
Well, so you're going to what does that mean? What does
Yeah,
that mean?
it's Geographical, like I think that you have to look at relationships differently here. They look different, the men are different, what you understand to be normal is different. So like for me, I have to approach them differently here.
How would you describe what being a Nigerian man is like versus every other man you've been with or you've dated or like every other experience you've had?
I think Nigerian men are a freaking mess. Like, my God. I'll say, like, coming from America, right? Like, the biggest issue for Black American men, for Black American women, are that they're not providers. So, like, in America, the Black woman is kind of like the Black man of Nigeria. Well, let me say, I was very excited to come to Nigeria because I was excited around the idea of men who understand providing, right? Because it's very helpful for a woman to be able to take the cape off. Like, it's nice to know that I can wear it, but it is very good when you can take it off and trust a man to provide. So that was new, and I was looking forward to that. But here, that providing comes with the number of strings that comes with providing, they can take it back. Like, providing means that you get to cheat at will without question. It means, like, you don't even have to communicate effectively. Like, it just means that she's just kind of on her own. And she must deal with everything on her own, including making you happy, making children happy, making, in-laws happy.
Yeah,
and
he's a provider. Come on.
yeah, oh yes, because money is so much. But here, like, it's odd because when I'm, of course I'm the outside looking in, but I feel like women are marginalized. They don't get the same opportunities as men for advancement to be able to provide for themselves. So you must provide. But you then can't be mad and be like, well, because I'm providing, you should let me cheat. Like, what? How? You have no self-control? Like, it's just too many strings that come along with the ability to provide. So I'll take my 50-50 in America.
And that's why I feel like people struggle with relationships even here. A lot of women who have traveled out and see like, oh, it doesn't have to be this way. Things could be different. And they're like, oh, what am I doing with my life?
Do you know the crazy thing is I think, right? I think that here you both need each other. So obviously there are outliers to every rule. But I think there are a lot of women here who count on, look forward to, and expect the providing thing. Like, I hear that complaint from men all the time. They're like, before I'm even up in the morning, she needs hair, she needs nails done, she needs this. And so I don't think that, at least comparing it to Black American men, like if you were to make those demands, they're falling. They're not coming for you. So you either must put on that cape yourself and become self-sufficient, or you look to the man who is running amok, doing whatever he wants to do, but he has no problem cutting you the money. So I don't really know the solution to dating here. I just know my own solution is to get the hell out.
Come on, you're not even giving it. You just mentioned that there are outliers. You don't want to give a chance to the outliers.
No, if I met an outlier, I would definitely explore it. But I'm just not keen, I don't know if you guys watch the same like childhood shows, but you have like PIs walking around with a magnifying glass. Like, I don't have time for that. I feel like people think that about American women anyways. Like the same way that I'm dropping here what I believe to be many stereotypes, but I think that the stereotypes fit. Like when I encounter other people, like my resistance is also met by stereotype, and they're like, yeah, Black American women, you guys, you don't listen. Like, as if I was supposed to listen.
Yeah, do you think culture influences this a lot?
Do I think culture influences? Yeah. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think our culture has always presented the man to be the head of the family, and not relationship has always never been a partnership. So it's always been there's a head and there's a follower.
And I wouldn't even be mad at that, but for the head acting so irresponsibly. Like, to me, it is irresponsible to cheat. But here, like, do you know?
In some ways, it's like politics.
Do you know the guy who I dated? He told me that to find a man in my tax bracket that wouldn't cheat, it would almost never happen here. Like, he told me that to my face. Like, you know, no shame. Like, the audacity of him to say such a thing. Like, so your money just entitles you to do what you want. You don't have to consider my feelings or anything. And the crazy thing is like, for me, it didn't even provide for me. Like, how dare you? Like, you don't even pay for anything and you still think like, just because of what you earn, you felt like you were entitled to do whatever you wanted. Like, how? I don't get it. What does this?
Well, he's asking what is his tax bracket.
Oh, what is his tax bracket? I can't confirm.
You're not sure?
As far as I'm concerned, he's a Yahoo boy.
Why did you say so?
Why do I say he's a Yahoo boy? Because I feel like, okay, so for Nigerian people, you guys like to investigate very quickly. Like, I have like a surrogate family here. And anytime I mention a guy, she's like, let's Google him. What does he do? Are you sure that's what he does? Like, have you met his mama? Have you met friends? Right?
I agree. I've had someone do that to me.
Yeah. But for me, I'm like, okay, just relax. Time will tell. If people are lying, you'll figure it out. Like, they can't keep up a lie forever. But what I now know is that you can keep up a lie for a long time, and that time causes me grief. Like I'm getting more attached. That time is important. And so I say he's a Yahoo boy because I feel like we spent significant time, and I cannot put my finger on an occupation. I can't put my finger on, what exactly how much he earns. Like, as far as I know, he lives off of being his father's child. Yeah. But it's not an income, and it does not make us the same. If you see this, we are not the same.
You feel super hurt though.
Yes, I'm very hurt. Don't I look hurt?
I can't imagine. No, I hear it a lot. I hear it a lot. I'm a lover boy, so I hate it. I love love.
I love love too.
I love love.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the most amazing thing in the world. I tell my friends that I could achieve everything I want to in the world, and if I live most of my life out without being in love or doing it with someone that is like a life partner that I want to do life with, when I'm dying, I'll be like, I just wasted my time here.
You want to know what? So I have a PA, right? I love, love, love my PA. She's a young Igbo girl. And
Igbo guys for the win.
I say this because we always get into conversations about like America versus Nigeria. And the thing that I hear most commonly about America is about the gun violence. Like, nobody here seems to like the gun violence in America, right? And I'm like, okay, we are all in agreement. Gun violence is bad, right? But I can understand the political angle, because if you want guns out there, like, controlling them is just hard to do. But the same for me. Like, I look at, you may be able to move yourself around gun violence, right? Like, your chances of getting shot are less likely in many areas of America, so you can move around it. But what I tell her would be my concern about raising someone in Nigeria is the idea that the women here don't even think real love exists. Like, the way they approach it is so bad. So it's, for me, I'd rather raise a kid around the gun violence and they actually know that love exists, versus raising a kid here who you don't have to worry about gun violence, but you have to worry about your husband running amok. I listened to her experiences. She's like 26, and I'm like, you can't even convince her that love is a thing.
Exactly. Funny, I feel like it's also one of the biggest struggles I have with people. Like, the last person I dated didn't live in Nigeria for a long time. So it was easy for us to experience what I would call like like you could actually feel like you were in love. But here it's a struggle trying to convince someone about like I'm like and when there's a lot of friction, I'm just like, please, like there's no need. We don't have to try to convince each other. I don't think that's how love flows. It's like you are trying to ride against the wave. It just doesn't work.
Would you like to know who I blame?
Go.
The men. And I say that
But why can't you just blame everyone? Why?
because I'm going to tell you, I think that the women are forced to react. So like they don't have the ability to start a cycle. Like the women here could all band together and like before change occurs with you men, they'd starve to death. But like you guys, like I feel like, and I blame the men in every society because I'm a feminist. And I know when I say feminist, I need to put like a little asterisk because my understanding of what feminism looks like here in Nigeria is like, I don't need a man. I don't stand by that, right? Like my version of feminist is just, I believe in equality for women and I believe that they can choose what they want for themselves. So to the woman who doesn't want a man, like I believe in her right to not have one and she shouldn't need one. Like she should be able to go out, get a same job, same pay, whatever. But for the woman who wants and chooses a man, wants to be traditional, like I stand by her choice too. But I'd say that because I just feel like the women here, they have to constantly react. So like if all of the men in the dating pool, and I say that as somebody who's not been here that long, but I've seen enough of the men, even the broke men here cheat. Like, so if everybody's cheating, right? In my mind, the women over time, like I hear like what their parents say and their parents are telling them to stay in these cheating relationships. They're like, you know, he didn't kill you, girl, go back there. And that is terrible, terrible advice. But I say that because they must be concerned, like poverty is also bad. So I understand not wanting poverty for your children. And so I feel like the only way you can change this cycle is by raising better men because the women have to be convinced that the love still exists. And like right now, I feel like they're just kind of like, well, if he's going to cheat and I can't stop his cheating ass, the least I could do is get some money. Like the least I could do is cry in my Bentley versus on a shuttle bus. But I think it's a bad way to like it's just my choice. Maybe because I'm American, I'm like, I would rather raise a child who believes in love because I do think with the right partnership, you can do great things.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. Thank you so much, Daniela, for this conversation. So I'm leaving a link to your YouTube channel and every amazing thing you are doing over there.